the predator that hunted entire colonies, stopped when a human tossed it a ball. The Galactic Council's emergency session had been ongoing for 17 standard hours when Ambassador Thekvar finally slammed his four-fingered fist against the Yao crystalline podium. The sound echoed through the vast chamber, silencing the cacophony of panicked voices from dozens of species. "The Voidstalker has consumed another colony," he announced, his normally steady voice cracking. "Kepler 442b, 37 million Centaurians, gone in 12 hours. A collective shudder rippled through the assembly. The Voidstalker, a creature of legend turned nightmare, had emerged from the deep void between galaxies 6 months ago. It stood nearly 50 meters tall, its obsidian carapace reflecting no light, its 6 eyes burning like dying stars. Where it went, colonies fell silent. Not destroyed, consumed. Every living being simply vanished, leaving behind empty cities and the echo of terror. "The pattern is always the same," continued Dr. Yilash, the Council's chief xenobiologist, her tentacles writhing with nervous energy. "It arrives, it hunts, it feeds. Our finest military minds, our most advanced weaponry, nothing stops it. We've evacuated 17 systems. How many more before we lose everything?" In the human section of the chamber, Captain Sarah Chen listened, quietly, her fingers drumming against her datapad. Humans were the newest members of the Galactic Council, admitted only 3 years prior despite, or perhaps because of, their unusual approaches to problem-solving. While other species had fled from the Voidstalker, humans had studied it. "Captain Chen," Ambassador Thekvar's voice cut through her thoughts. "Your species has requested permission to attempt contact with the creature. The Council finds this inadvisable." Sarah stood, her calm demeanor contrasting sharply with the agitation around her. "With respect, Ambassador, we've analyzed every encounter. The Voidstalker isn't mindlessly destructive. It's selective, methodical. It's hunting." "Yes," hissed Council member Vex High, her serpentine form coiling with frustration. "It hunts us, all of us." "No," Sarah replied firmly. "It hunts prey. And the way it hunts, the way it moves, the way it tracks, the way it plays with settlements before consuming them, it reminds us of something." The chamber fell silent. Sarah activated her holographic display, showing footage from various Voidstalker encounters. The creature's movements were fluid, powerful, almost playful. "Permission to proceed with Contact Protocol Alpha 7, Sarah requested. Ambassador Thekvar's 4 eyes widened. "You wish to play with the creature that has devoured entire worlds?" "I wish to test a theory," Sarah corrected. 3 days later, the human vessel Curiosity dropped out of hyperspace at Tuam, the edge of the Proxima Centauri system, where the Voidstalker had been detected. The creature was there, drifting through space with an alien grace, its massive form somehow both terrifying and magnificent. "Sensors confirm," reported Lieutenant Torres from the bridge. "It's heading toward the mining station on Proxima 3. Estimated arrival, 4 hours." Sarah nodded, checking her equipment one final time. Her team thought she was insane. Hell, she thought she might be insane. But something about the creature's behavior patterns, the way it seemed to toy with its prey, reminded her of every large predator humanity had ever encountered. And more specifically, it reminded her of Max, her German shepherd back on Earth. The Curiosity positioned itself directly in the Voidstalker's path. As the creature approached, its 6 burning eyes fixed upon the small vessel, Sarah suited up and stepped into the airlock. "Sarah," came Dr. Martinez's voice over the comm, "if you're wrong about this, then I'll be the first human to die by Voidstalker," she interrupted. "But if I'm right?" She didn't finish the thought. Instead, she reached into her pack and pulled out a simple rubber ball, red, Earth standard, the kind dogs had been chasing for millennia. The airlock opened, and Sarah drifted into space, protected only by her environmental suit and a theory that seemed more absurd with each passing second. The Voidstalker loomed before her, a mountain of darkness against the stars. Its eyes, each one larger than Sarah's entire body, focused on her with predatory intensity. For a moment that stretched into eternity, they regarded each other. Then Sarah did something no being in the galaxy had ever attempted when facing the Void Stalker. She smiled and tossed the ball. The effect was immediate and impossible. The Void Stalker's massive head tracked the ball's trajectory with laser focus. Its body, which had been coiled for attack, suddenly relaxed. One enormous appendage, part arm, part tentacle, reached out and caught the ball with surprising gentleness. The creature examined the ball, turning it over in its grasp. Then, in a motion that nearly caused Lieutenant Torres to faint at his sensor station, the Void Stalker tossed the ball back to Sarah. Sarah caught it, actually laughed, and threw it again, harder this time. The Void Stalker's eyes seemed to brighten as it leaped through space to intercept the ball, its movements now unmistakably playful. "My God," whispered Dr. Martinez over the comm. "It's not a predator at all, is it?" Sarah watched as the Void Stalker performed what could only be described as a somersault in zero gravity, clutching the ball protectively. "It is a predator," she corrected. "But it's also something else. Something we should have recognized sooner." She keyed her comm to broadcast on all Council frequencies. "Council Command, this is Captain Chen. The Void Stalker isn't hunting us for food. It's not even really hunting us. It's lonely. It's been trying to get us to play, but we keep running away. And when we run..." She paused as the massive creature gently nudged the ball back toward her with its snout. "Well, that just makes the game more fun." The implications hit the Council like a shockwave. A creature powerful enough to destroy civilizations, intelligent enough to cross galactic voids, and desperate enough to chase fleeing colonies across the galaxy, not to consume them, but to interact with them. When they fled, it gave chase. When they hid, it sought them out. When they fought, it played harder. But when someone finally threw it a ball. Over the following weeks, xenobiologists, psychologists, and game theorists from across the galaxy descended upon the Proxima system. The Void Stalker, whom Sarah had taken to calling Cosmos, proved to be not just intelligent but remarkably social. It had traveled between galaxies not as a conqueror, but as an explorer seeking companionship. The consumed colonies were discovered safely relocated to a pocket dimension within the creature's body. A protective gesture that Cosmos had thought was part of an elaborate game of hide-and-seek. Dr. Yilash published a paper titled Interspecies Recreation Theory. Why? Sometimes the answer is just to play ball. It became required reading at every xenobiology institute in the galaxy, and Sarah Chen became the first human to be awarded the Galactic Peace Prize for, as Ambassador Tekvar put it in his speech, having the wisdom to see a lonely child where the rest of us saw only a monster. As she accepted the award, Sarah looked up at the viewing gallery where Cosmos watched through the station's reinforced windows, a specially designed quantum ball floating gently between its massive digits. Sometimes, she reflected, the most complex problems had the simplest solutions. You just had to be willing to play.